Hello everyone, good morning. Time check. It's 6:40 a.m. in the morning and the sun is about to rise. And I am here again in my veranda area to check on them and of course to share something today about my succulents. So first let's go around and take a look at the succulent until we reach the place that I am going to share today. So these are the pots that I have cleaned up in the previous week. So I started the starting or cleaning up my succulent. Last January, starting January, I think first week of January, that's the time that I started to clean up my succulent and even my cactus pot. There. And these are the white pots that we have repotted. These are all filled up with iron clay. So their color is quite dull when the sun is not up. So we have here our sedum clavatum on the topmost part. And we have, I already shared this one. If you haven't watched my vlog, you can check my channel. Yeah. And here's the other rock. And in my last vlog, I was able to share this one. This one. So let's take a look at them closely. Oh, I think one of the agavoids aquarius that I potted is didn't make it, so it rot. Yeah, because the day when I potted, it rained, so it doesn't have roots, so it will definitely rot. So I'm just going to change it. But for the others who doesn't have roots and was also restarted, they are okay. Look at the orange cactus. It's really an eye-catching one. Yeah, they are okay. And this is the last rock that I have vlogged in my last vlog. Look how red and look at our Madiba. So I think I only have one Madiba left in my garden. So they are all okay. So for today's video, my sharing for today is actually these two rocks that I was able to clean up yesterday. So when I say clean up, it means that I restarted my succulents. So when I started my succulents, it means that I uprooted them, clean up the roots, and most of the time I usually cut the stem and the root part to clean it up. So in my last vlog, I was able to show how does it look like when I clean it up. And the soil mix, I invented a new mixture which is composed of the reused soil mix, which was the soil mix on their pot before I uprooted it. And then I just added some Osmocote to give nutrients and some loam soil, fresh new loam soil. And I also added some rice hull. Yeah, that's why you would see on the potter a rice hull. So I just bought the rice hull online. So the ratio would definitely be 50% reused soil, then 25% loam soil, and then 25% rice hull. And I did not add pumice because there are lots of pumice already. But the old mixture or the used soil already have pumice on it. So usually what was left in the soil, if it is already used, is garden soil and pumice stone, so the rice hull is gone. So that's why I need to add rice hull to make it more nutritious and more drainable. So let's start. So I will be sharing today that these two pots. So let's take a look at them one by one. So on the topmost part of this first rack, it was all potted in a clay pot. So these are like token sizes of echeverias. So on this side, I think this is Fat Beauty. Yeah, there are two pots. And then we have our black rose. It is a kind of agavoid. And we have our kisses. Actually, this is the mother plant of my kisses. And there are two offsets that I was able to propagate from it. But it really got small because of the rainy days during the month of December. Because it's raining every day. And I have here my far pillar. So it's so small. Before it was big. Because of rainy days, the lower part of the leaves always got mushy, so I have to remove it. And beside it is I have a Fat Beauty 2 pot. I mean 3 pots. So we have the first, second, and third. So before they are potted in one pot, and now I have decided to pot it individually. Yeah, to give nutrients to each one of them, and they can give babies or offset because they don't give offset last year when I bought them. And this one is, I do not know the ivy, but it's pretty nice. This is our Heart-a-Lot, and we have our Hercules and our Annabelle. So this is what you can see in the first layer of the rock that I have cleaned up and I have restarted. So I usually restarted my succulents every year. I do it every year, yes. And it's always January when I starting them. So on the second layer, we will see big echeverias. So let's take a look. So this is my purple champagne. Purple champagne is a hybrid of agavoids, yeah. So if you would notice, the inner part has perfect farina, and it's really purplish in color. So it is a pointed leaf because it's a kind of agavoid, and of course it has a molded wax leaf. Then in front of it is I have the Hira. So the farina is not really that good to look at, but it's a Hira. Then at the back I have another purple champagne. Yeah, so there are two purple champagne that looks different, but they are purple champagne. So it depends on the light that they get. That's why their faces or look different. So next in front of it is I have another Hira. So there are two Hira. There are two purple champagne. So they're pretty. And then this is another purple champagne. So I have actually placed in this rack 3 purple champagne. So this is the biggest one, and this is the smallest one. So in front of the purple champagne, I have placed my pink champagne. So it looks, or it's also a hybrid of agavoid, and it has a molded wax. So this is for pink champagne, but the color is not pink. But on the inner rosette, you would see there, the tips is quite pink. So let's compare it with the purple champagne. So this is purple champagne. The leaf is quite elongated, or more, longer. The purple champagne has longer leaves compared to the pink champagne. And then at the back is I have my, oh, I'm so sorry. This is Beckia. Yeah, that's why the leaves are shorter compared to purple champagne. This is Becca, and this is our pink champagne. Yeah, I remember. I'm so sorry if you got confused. So let's recap. This is my purple champagne. Yeah, this is purple champagne. This is Becca. Becca usually have smaller and rounded leaves. And if you would notice, there are lines inside their leaves that distinguishes them from purple and pink champagne. And this is our pink champagne. So it's more pinkish compared to the purple, which is dark in color. So let's take a look at it closer yet. So in front of the pink champagne, I have here my Echeveria side. So look how pretty is the second layer of this rock where you can find all the agavoids. I mean, when I say agavoid, it's the purple champagne, the pink champagne, and the backyard. Also, Echeveria Psyche is also a kind of agavoids, but it doesn't have stress color right now. So on the third layer, I have placed here my hakoho. Yeah, this is a big one. This is a smaller one. So there are two hakoho on this rack. And I have here, I'm not so sure if this is German champagne, a hybrid of agaves, or a pink champagne. So, because if you would notice, the leaves in the inner set is shorter. Why? Because during December, it has groundnut and it already grew or it was able to recover by producing new leaves on the inner rosette. So I was hoping it would give us two babies or three, but it's also okay if it only have one. It's fine with me as long as it is alive. So we will see what it is, if it is German or pink champagne, if it gets stressed. So in front is my mother plant of my love and war. Actually, where's the love and war? So this love and war is the offset of this one. Unfortunately, this one, since it's big already last year, it was not able to survive much or did not grow well because it was really raining every day last December. So I just hope it will grow roots. So most of them doesn't have roots. They are all stem cutting because I started them. And this is my mother plant or part of my blue cloud. So it becomes small and all the blue clouds, this one, this one, this one, and this one are offsets of this blue cloud. Yeah. So blue cloud doesn't have stress color, but the stunning beauty of having its bluish powdery white. Yeah, bluish white color. It's really pretty. No need for stress color. And I can recommend it for beginners. It's easy to take care and they're very generous in giving offsets. So in front of Blue Cloud is I have an Orion. So Orion is one of the Echeverias that I can recommend for beginners also. They have been with me for 3 years, more than. And at the back, I have here my pink pearls. And in front, I have here my white one. So this white one is a clumping one. So at first, I decided to cut the stem. But when I look how it grows, like with stem, so I decided to keep it up so it will look unique in my garden. So maybe if the rosette grows big, this is the time I will be cutting it. So this is how it looked like, the first rack that I wanted to share to you today. So let's go to the second rack. So we have here an Amabile, our Alba Beauty. So they are token sizes actually. This one, I'm not so sure of the ID, and this one, it looks like, I didn't know the ID, but it's just green. It doesn't have stress color. And this is our Tito band. This is our lenguas, but there are no karangko. We have here our sakoho, and in front our purple delight. So this one is much, I think it got sunburn, yeah. So the sun is starting to show up. So that's what you can see in the first layer of the second rack. So on the second layer, we have, I'm not so sure of the idea of this. So this is same as, I did not cut the set because it looks pretty. And this one is a cotton, yeah. And this is our longissima. Look how red is the color. Right, so pretty. And on the next part, we have our beautiful Chloe. So this is the full stress color of Chloe. And I have potted 3 pots here on this side. So it's pinkish in color. So I will show you the not because the non-stress color of Chloe has some green. Yeah, wait, I'm going to bring you on the side where it's a non-stress Chloe. Oh, sorry, it's already stressed also. So I don't have the Chloe that is non-stressed in color. They are already stressed. So let's go back here. So the difference is that when they are fully stressed, they are really compact. Yeah, look at the rosette of this spot. And there's these or new offsets there. So I have placed here 3 pots of our Chloe. So Chloe is one of the succulents that I can also recommend for beginners. They are very generous in giving offset. They are easy to take care. Yeah. So let's go. This is what you can see on the second layer of the second rock. And the last or the third layer of this rock. Let's take a look at it. So I have here another pot of Arun Pay. It's not purple in color. Not much. Not compared to the one potted in the white pot. And beside it is I have the peach candy. Yeah, peach candy is a hybrid of morphine. So later I'll show you a pot of morphine. So the leaves of peach candy is much rounded and shorter compared to morphine. So beside it is I have a pot of my Graptopetalum Ellen. Yeah. So there are very small rosettes. They are only cuttings. So I was able to collect these rosettes from 3 pots. That was, I don't know if they're going to die, but I hope this one can survive. Yeah. And this is the babies of our Marfin. So this is Marfin. Yeah. And if you would notice, they were infested by fungus and aphids during December because of the rainy days. And I have here my purple haze, the propagation spot. So I got it. So there's no stem. See? There's no root. So I hope they would grow. Yeah. They would grow root fast. So they won't die. So let's see. So this is let's have a recap. This is the third layer of the second rack. This is the second layer of the second rock, and this is the first layer of the second rock, and this is the third layer of the first rock, and this is the second layer of the first rock, and this is the first layer of the first rock. So I was able to share 2 rocks today that I have cleaned up and fixed. So I hope you like my sharing for today, and don't be afraid to restart your succulent. Yeah, especially this season in Silang Cavite, Philippines. It's the best time to restart your succulent. But of course, you have to assess the the weather that you have before you do the restart, because supposed to be they are not going to be wet by the rain, but since there are days that still raining, it's fine as long as it is not hard. And the weather here in Silang Cavite, Philippines is quite mm, cold, yeah, in the morning and in the night. That's why it's the best time to restart them. So there are 2 more rocks to clean up. These are the paths that I need to clean up. There are more succulents there. So maybe if the weather is good, I will uproot this one, the one potted there. Yeah. You would notice there are missing paths already on this side. Yeah. Because I already get the succulents there and potted on the last 2 rocks that I have vlogged today. And the sun is starting to shine up. Hello, Mr. Sun. So far, the one potted on the table, our Asophytum cereus are all okay. The one potted in the table are okay. So this is the one casualty that we have. It's still alive. And there are so many dried leaves in the green path. I want to remove it yet. Okay, so look at our winter jasmine. So pretty. Our variegated Dionysius. And of course, our very red Romeo. Our Mina is losing its stress color. And then our big Astrophytum mysterious, they are all okay. But one of the variegated Gymnocalcium here died, so I just replaced it with another cactus. So our propagation pots, they are already full. I mean the propagation rack is already full. Just one more pot to be placed there. And my video is too long already, so I guess I have to say goodbye for now and see you on my next vlog. So if you do like my sharing for today, please hit the like button. And if you really enjoy my video today, please share my video to your family, friends, and relatives. It will be a big help to get more views. Yes, and of course to share more information to people who are interested or who are planning or who are taking care of their succulents and cactus. So bye for now. See you on my next vlog. See you on my next video. Bye bye. God bless us all. Happy gardening, everyone. Bye. Just one more thing. This is the kind of the soil that I can always get from the pot of my succulent whenever I clean them up. So if you would notice, it's really made of garden soil and pumice stone, so it's not really good to use or to reuse it without adding lump soil and rice salt to make it more breathable soil mix. Yeah, so that's it. I forgot to show it to you, so that's why I added this at the last part of the video. So bye for now. God bless and happy gardening, everyone. Bye.